Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's, well, not just important, but incredibly personal for so many of us: parenting and education. The big question we're really grappling with is how can we move beyond being, just guardians for our children? How do we become genuine guides for them on their incredibly unique journeys?
It's a massive challenge, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
modern education is just so much more than what happens in a classroom or even at the kitchen table doing homework. Parental involvement has become absolutely crucial. It shapes far more than just academic scores.
Yes, exactly. And getting to that deeper understanding is really our mission in this deep dive. We've gone through a stack of sources, and, well, we're here to unpack the essential insights, things that go way beyond just getting homework checked off the list. We'll be focusing on creating a really positive home environment, navigating the complexities of the digital age, and, crucially, prioritizing mental well being. That seems to come up again and again. Okay, let's dive in. So, our sources kick things off with something maybe a bit surprising about the home environment. It's not just about being calm, but actively fostering what they call psychological safety. One source even mentioned a study, I think, where kids in homes that prioritize this showed something like 30% higher intrinsic motivation for learning compared to kids in really high pressure environments. So it's about shifting from that pressure to real safety. What does that actually look like day to day?
Well, what's fascinating is the practical application, isn't it? When a child struggles with, say, math or history, the key isn't to jump in and scold them. Instead, the focus shifts entirely. It becomes about understanding where they're actually facing difficulties. What's the roadblock? The real magic, the sources seem to show, is in that dynamic shift from judgment to genuine kind of curious support. Imagine how that changes everything for a kid who's just trying to grasp something tough.
It really does, especially when you think about the pressure kids feel anyway. But okay, for many parents, the pressure of grades is still very real. Our sources talk about fostering unique interests, art, music, whatever it is. How do we really inspire those passions without feeling like we're um, letting the academic side slip? Is there a tension there?
It's a great question. And if we zoom out a bit, what the sources suggest is that it's about fostering holistic development. They really emphasize that it's not just about academic scores. That's only one piece. They actually introduced this idea that nurturing diverse talents, like those unique interests you mentioned, it actually boosts a child's self-efficacy, which is basically their belief in their own ability to succeed, right?
It's a confidence in themselves.
Exactly. And that self-efficacy, the sources argue, is actually a stronger predictor of long-term success than any single test score. It's about empowering them from within.
Wow, okay, that's a powerful distinction. Self-efficacy over just test scores.
Yeah.
And then there's the third tip from our sources, which I think really challenges the idea that studying has to be this, heavy burden,
hmm
making learning fun. How do our sources suggest we actually do that, not just talk about it? Not just talk about it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's easy to say, harder to do. Our materials really highlight the power of what they call situated learning, which is essentially making learning an active part of daily life, not some separate dreaded chore. For instance, one really interesting study in our sources showed that kids who regularly engaged in gamified learning tasks, like using a grocery store trip for math practice, calculating the bill, or maybe building a story around historical facts, they actually retained information something like 40% better than kids who only use traditional study methods.
40%. That's significant.
It really is. It embeds the learning, makes it memorable, and almost effortless in a way.
Okay, so we've got this foundation, this positive, engaging environment, hopefully. But what happens when learning moves beyond the home? Our sources dive deep into what they call the digital classroom paradox: online learning. It truly feels like a double-edged sword, doesn't it? What are some of the perhaps surprising upsides our sources point to?
Oh, indeed. And the benefits our materials underscore are pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Hmm.
Children gain almost immediate access to knowledge from all over the world. Instantly, they can learn new skills, explore subjects that might not even be offered locally, all from the comfort and, importantly, the safety of their own homes. It really democratizes information in a way we've just never seen before.
That's a huge positive, no doubt. But then, of course, there's the flip side: screen time. It's something I think every parent grapples with. It's a constant negotiation. Our sources, I imagine, have some pretty specific guidance on managing that balance, hopefully beyond just saying set limits.
Right, because set limits is easy advice to give, hard to follow sometimes. This brings up important points about digital citizenship and also cognitive load. The crucial part, according to our sources, isn't just if they're using gadgets, but how. Is it purposeful or just endless scrolling? So the practical advice includes setting specific time boundaries. Yes, that's part of it, but maybe more importantly, it's about explaining why devices perhaps shouldn't be used right after online classes or for extended English periods, helping them understand the reason. And they really emphasize balancing that digital time with unplugged activities.
Like actually going outside.
Exactly. Encouraging outdoor play, meeting up with friends, engaging in physical activities. It actually helps consolidate learning, apparently, and prevents that digital fatigue we all feel.
That makes a lot of sense. Consolidating learning. Interesting. Okay, speaking of balance, let's shift the conversation to something critical and honestly often overlooked: a child's mental health, especially within their educational journey. When you think about the pressures children face today, exam stress, the relentless drive for good grades, the sheer competition, it can really take a toll, can it? What do our sources say is the parent's primary role here?
Well, what's truly profound here, I think, is the call for emotional literacy, both for the parent and the child. Our sources indicate that simply asking, genuinely asking, how are you feeling about this, opens up such a crucial dialogue. They even cite data showing that children who feel heard and understood are, I think it was, 2.5 times more likely to actually seek help when they're feeling stressed.
Wow, just by feeling heard.
Just by feeling heard. It's about recognizing that a child's emotional baseline, their happiness, their mental well-being, isn't just some nice byproduct of good grades. It's the foundation for everything else. It actually matters more than the numbers on a report card.
That really shifts the entire perspective, doesn't it? Happiness over numbers as a guiding principle.
Mhm.
And I imagine part of fostering that well-being is also gently explaining that, winning and losing, they're just inherent parts of life, and that it's okay to experience setbacks. It's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's fundamentally about building resilience and also fostering a healthy self-concept within the child. Who am I beyond my grades? And these are just buzzwords. Our sources demonstrate that these qualities, resilience, positive self-concept, are directly linked to a child's ability to bounce back from setbacks and really thrive long-term. It transcends any single academic outcome. It's a lifelong skill we're helping them build.
It really is. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, it's just abundantly clear that parenting and education aren't just connected. They're deeply interwoven, almost inseparable, really. Our role as parents, it seems, isn't just about, earning money or paying school fees. That's important, but it's more about actively holding our children's hands, metaphorically speaking, and showing them the right path, guiding them with these kinds of insights we've uncovered.
Right. And ultimately, the goal of this guidance, as our sources really illuminate, is to help children become not only successful in whatever they choose to do, but also, importantly, genuinely good human beings, people who can contribute positively to the world around them.
And maybe a final thought to leave with you, the listener. Remember, every single child truly is special. They possess unique abilities, unique sparks that might not fit neatly into a standardized test or a curriculum box. So what does it truly mean to trust them? To give them that unconditional love and to consistently stand by their side as they navigate their own distinct unfolding journey?
And perhaps, how might your approach evolve if you really started to view education less like a race to a finish line and more like a journey of self-discovery for your child? How would that change things?